Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Andy Miller, and I have the great privilege of serving as the Executive Director of Human Solutions. It's important to begin my remarks tonight by reflecting on the land we all occupy, here at Human Solutions and wherever you are tonight, because it has a history that we too often forget to acknowledge, honor, and respond to. What we now call Portland and Multnomah County span the traditional lands of the Multnomah, Wasco, Cathlamet, Clackamas, Cowlitz bands of Chinook, Tualatin, Kalapua, Malala, and many other tribes and bands who have long made their homes along the Columbia River. It is our responsibility to include this knowledge in our decision-making as we manage the lands we use and as we build relationships within the communities whose land we occupy. We must also acknowledge that this is far more than just history. Racism can show up through invisibility of Indigenous lands, erasure of Indigenous history, and ongoing oppression of current-day Indigenous people. Today, people from these tribes and bands are members of the Confederated Tribes of Grand Ronde, the Confederated Tribes of Siletz Indians, as well as the Chinook Nation and Cowlitz Nation in Washington State. Our region is also home to Indigenous peoples from hundreds of tribes and bands originating across North America. While we know that a statement like this doesn't begin to do justice to the significant issue of stolen land in our nation's history, we believe that words matter, and they can be a starting point for awareness, understanding, and action. All things this world could use more of. Thank you for joining me in this important reflection. Welcome. I raised two daughters here in Oregon in a community progressively challenged by a housing and homelessness crisis, and now challenged by a global pandemic. I feel so grateful to be part of an organization like Human Solutions that is pushing back on the forces causing poverty and homelessness in this place we live and love. At Human Solutions, we believe deeply that there is no place like home, and our team puts our beliefs into action every day. Whether we are helping families pay their rent, building our next affordable housing community, or providing safety off the streets in one of our 3 homeless shelters, our goal is always the same: to provide the foundational support we all need to take our next step toward a thriving, connected life, especially for those most impacted by our nation's harmful systems, including systemic racism, that leaves so many of our neighbors outside the prosperity we all deserve. East Portland and East Multnomah County have been our home since 1988, and in this moment, our community is facing some really big challenges. The pandemic and housing crisis have taken a heavy toll in the neighborhoods east of 82nd Avenue, especially for the many Black and brown families living there, many pushed east by gentrification and exorbitant regional housing costs. But our hope at Human Solutions for a more just future has never burned brighter. We see a window of opportunity to build something better, and we're glad to have you by our side for that most important journey. As a start, our team has been busier than ever getting COVID relief funds into the hands of those who need them. We've already helped over 2,000 families impacted by the pandemic to keep their homes, and we will help thousands more keep their homes and rebuild their lives and communities in the months to come. Just last month, we opened the doors to our 17th affordable housing community, the Nick Fish Apartments in East Portland, and next month we will break ground on our Stark Street housing community, which will provide permanent affordable homes to 93 families in the Rosewood neighborhood, many moving from homelessness to permanency. When we say there is no place like home, we mean business, even during a pandemic. I want to close by thanking all of you for being with us tonight and every day as we do this important work. We know you've spent a lot of time online this year, so we truly appreciate you tuning in one more time for Human Solutions and the important role our incredible team plays in our community. A just future may feel like a tall order for a world right now, but it's where we must go, locking arms to start building that better tomorrow today. Contributions from you tonight and throughout the year help us build that better tomorrow for the families we reach. If you have the capacity to be generous tonight, please give what you are able. We'll make sure your contribution advances the cause of racial and housing justice and basic economic fairness. That much I can promise you, because that is who we are and what we do. Thank you. And now, I'm proud to pass the mic, so to speak, for a message from an East Portlander you've all heard of, U.S. Senator Jeff Merkley.